I'm Greg Jarrett. You're in the strategy room as Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton take aim at one another in dueling speeches. Today, a new Fox News poll shows a tight race for the White House. Hillary Clinton's numbers staying the same as last month, 42%, but Donald Trump slipping to 39% in the wake of his controversial comments about the federal judge overseeing his now defunct Trump University civil fraud cases. Joining me now with reaction, nationally syndicated talk show host and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall and columnist for the Fiscal Times, Liz Peek. Leslie, Trump has lost 6 points in 3 weeks. Can one reasonably conclude that he did this to himself related to his comments about the federal judge's heritage, which some have labeled as racist?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to see more of it. I mean, I think that we have seen that, Donald Trump definitely has a temper. And if he doesn't like what somebody says or somebody does, he's going to lash back. And some of the lashing is going to be at Hillary, which with his core supporters does well for him polling-wise, but not so well with those people that are undecided or in the Bernie Sanders camp, which he definitely wants those 1 out of 5 that might not vote for her kind of thing.
Well, what's insane is, in basketball terms, it was an unforced error. I mean, nobody asked him about it. He went on an 11-minute rant in San Diego at a rally, and then, all hell broke loose. Liz, voters who have serious doubts, and we'll put up the poll numbers here, about whether Donald Trump is qualified to be president. Far more voters see Clinton as qualified, 69% to 47%. But the numbers that really hurt Donald Trump are knowledge and temperament. He loses big time, 33% and 27 points respectively.
Yeah, I don't think that his slippage in the polls is entirely due to this issue with the Mexican judge. I also think Hillary Clinton made a very strong speech, really went after Donald Trump. It was meant to be a foreign policy speech. It really had nothing to do with foreign policy. But she raised these issues of temperament, credentials, etc., which I think is going to be sort of the ongoing theme of her campaign. He isn't really qualified by our historical standards to be president. He doesn't have the background. Mitch McConnell talked about him not knowing the issues, and he's totally right. I don't think that's what people like about Donald Trump, but I think you can definitely criticize him for sort of a lack of background. And also, let's not underplay the fact that Hillary Clinton just came off winning the nomination, and during some of those days when this polling was done, she was clearly about to clinch the nomination, and I think she got a bump from that. So I don't think it was all the judge.
Leslie, let me get your reaction to these numbers again. 6 in 10 say Trump is not likable. 59% say he doesn't have the knowledge. 62% say he doesn't have the temperament.
I think we're going to see those numbers increase.
Really?
And I think the reason we're going to see those numbers increase is because he cannot put a debate on a teleprompter. And when he reads off a teleprompter, they can give him the right talking points. He can look and sound presidential. But when he stands next to a woman who has been a U.S. Senator, a Secretary of State, and even his First Lady has seen the inner workings of the White House from all of those angles, has seen foreign policy not just from the Situation Room, but meeting with world leaders. I think not only are we going to see temperament, but I think that we are going to see the difference between the vast knowledge and experience. I mean, do you remember when Joe Biden and Paul Ryan sat down for a debate, and it really looked like the experienced guy with the newbie?
Right.
And I think that it's going to be similar. I think she's going to do very well, and I think that those numbers will increase. There'll be people that sit there and say, wait a minute. Right. And pause. And in November, that could definitely put her over the top.
Maybe you can get away with generalities in the primaries, not so in the general election, especially the debate.
Don't underplay his ability to study up, however. I mean, he's going to have a lot of people, he already does, surrounding him, bringing up to speed on various issues. Voters don't vote on foreign policy. They vote on the economy, and right now he is still leading her by about 10 percentage points on the economy.
Yeah, I've got to get your reaction to the Twitter war that went on. You had to laugh at this. Trump ridicules Obama's endorsement of Clinton. Clinton then tweets, delete your account. Ironic, since she's the queen of the delete button.
Exactly.
Then the disgraced gadfly, Anthony Weiner, jumps in with his tweets referencing his own sexting scandal. Has this become the theater of the absurd?
Well, I think what you're talking about raises some of the issues that will undermine, with all due respect, the fact that indeed Hillary Clinton has a great dossier. But that doesn't mean she has great judgment, and it doesn't mean that she's likable or trustworthy or any of these other things. So when Anthony Weiner becomes, what does Anthony Weiner remind us of? Reminds us of the fact that his wife, Huma Abedin, is one of Hillary Clinton's closest aides. I feel very sorry for Huma Abedin, but she's married to this bozo who has embarrassed her on serial occasions, and somehow she's still linked with him. I mean, I question her judgment. So anyway, look, it's all very personal and unpleasant and really ghastly, I must say.
People were tweeting, what goes through the empty head of Anthony Weiner yesterday? I mean, and indeed, one wonders.
Well, I have to say that I may not have high opinion of Mr. Weiner, but I definitely have a very high opinion of his wife. And I think when somebody's married and has a child with somebody, because I'm married and have 2 children, and, you know, yeah, there are days I want to throw my husband out the window, but I don't because I took a vow. And till death do us part. You know, to that, and I don't.
He
think,
did too.
And I don't think that somebody's personal relationship should be, whether in politics or not, it really chafes my hide, if you will, that we look at that just like, you know, Hillary and her husband's behavior.
Right.
To me, that has nothing to do with Hillary's ability to do her job.
Or
if we're talking about character, can we please talk about Donald Trump's character?
Yeah, but we can also talk
Hillary's
about Hillary's character.
Outweighs his.
Yeah, thrice married.
I want to talk about
cheated
Twitter.
on his wives.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm referring
impregnated
to
a mistress while married to a woman he had 3 children with. I'm sorry, that's not a family value that I have. With regard to Twitter, I think we're going to see a lot more of this going forward because the millennials are, you know, online. Right. I don't think Hillary tweeted that, and I'm not saying it because of what she said, because she signs hers HC, just as Bill Clinton signs his. I think it was a staffer who might be getting his or her, you know, head slapped saying, why did you say that?
Yeah.
I do think this is, unfortunately,
when you delete 30,000 emails, it's kind of hard to delete your account. Leslie Marshall, Liz Peek, good to see you both. Thanks
very much.
Thank you.
For more on the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.